Good morning from the New York Bureau. Mooks, how are you?
Is it, you tweeted, I'm proud to have been called a dope by Rush Limbaugh. I was called a babe. I don't know which is worse. Why did he call you a dope?
I think what's worse or what's better? I mean, I guess it's worse as a babe, because what if Rush Limbaugh had really gone after you? And what if he found a way to seduce you?
Yeah.
And then every night you'd have to be like the other four Mrs. Limbaughs.
Yeah.
And see Rush being lowered onto your body with the pulley system. I think probably you know.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, if anything could have brought me back from gay, it would have been him. Okay, John. Yeah. Hey, John.
See, I don't make fun of Rush Limbaugh. This is our big debate on Sirius XM this week. I won't make fun of Limbaugh's illness or death, but I'm really happy to use his own words against him.
Yeah, no, you said that. Well, we said here, I don't know whether it's fellow broadcaster, but I didn't want to tweet anything. It's a weird, you're right, John. We can not celebrate his death, but also mourn that he used his life superpowers for evil and not for good.
Yeah, we can talk about how he led to so much of the division and hatred and crappy broadcasting of today. He birthed Fox News. He birthed the Trump presidency. And I want to say only nice things about him. So I'll say I'm glad he's not gaining weight anymore.
John Fugelsang.
No, not okay. I'll try harder. I'll try so much harder, because I said, I broke my own rule. I won't. All I did the day he died was just quote his own words. Yeah. And I sort of feel like you don't need to hate him. You can just use his own words against him. And I do pray that he has now found the mercy and the love and the compassion that he spat upon during his lifetime. I really do.
Yeah.
I remember when he would, I don't remember, play music when gay men died of AIDS, and I don't know.
Yeah. He did apologize for that too. That's the one thing he apologized for.
Did
he really? I didn't know that.
Yes, he did.
You said that
second.
Okay.
Yeah, you said Rush Limbaugh gave the racist, sexist, ignorant, hateful white men validation. He made right-wing Christians feel good about ignoring what Christ actually taught. No need to take delight in his suffering, as you said. Just quote his own words. Yeah. By the way, you had a great defense of our stablemate here at Sirius XM, Howard Stern, because some right wingers like, wait till they find out about Howard Stern in the '90s, and you
90s.
Say what you said, because you made a great point about Howard. You were on Twitter, I think.
Yeah, I did. Well, I mean, I just, and look, Howard still does plenty of offensive stuff, but Howard is a comedian. His show is a funny show. He is not there trying to be the truth teller for politics and justice and morality with the hypocrite level that Rush Limbaugh had. But Howard Stern is a man who grew, who evolved, who got past his racist shtick and homophobia. He is a man who took responsibility. And, one thing I'll say for Howard, aside from the fact that he is a nice person, he's always been nice to me, is that he's someone who we will never measure how much he did to make guys be open to therapy and to make guys be open to personal growth as guys.
No, And
by the way, when I tweeted that, I was ridiculed by racist Rush Limbaugh fans who sort of proved my point.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of douchebags, let's, terms of, dearly departed Rush Limbaugh, but Ted Cruz, how many layers of douchebaggery are in this story currently?
Oh, the Abraham Lincoln of Sarah Palin's. There's many layers of douchebaggery. And, just as the worst thing Trump did was make Bush look good, and the worst thing Bush did was make his father look good, the worst thing Ted Cruz did with his little Cancun. And listen, I understand Ted Cruz. He threw his daughter under the bus, blamed his daughter for it all. But
fortunately, his wife was already there under the bus.
I know,
courtesy of Donald Trump.
But he was only trying to cross the border to give his daughter a better life, Stephanie. That's all he was trying to do. So I called ICE yesterday morning and said, hello, there's a Rafael Cruz that I know for a fact is sneaking into America from Mexico today. But the worst thing Ted Cruz did was he took the heat off Abbott. He took the heat off the people who are directly responsible, because Ted Cruz is not directly responsible for the suffering in Texas.
Yeah.
But he got us talking about Ted instead of those people. And that's the worst part about his little getaway.
But it really becomes a thread of the party. Judge Clay Jenkins, he's the chief executive of Dallas County, said none of the state's Republican officials have contacted him about the crisis, but the White House has been offering any help he needs. Someone asked him, "Do you ever think it would be this bad in Texas?" He said, "Well, yes. We've been warning the governor about this since 2011. It was nearly this bad around the Super Bowl. You may remember the ice storm. There was a federal report that said if you don't winterize it, it'll happen again. There was a state report saying the same thing. The governor made a conscious choice not to do that. It was completely predictable. Now it's time for the governor to apologize." He said, "I haven't heard from him, haven't heard from any of the state leaders. We have heard from the White House, and we're very thankful. The reason our water is in good shape is because the Biden administration and FEMA sent us generators." So there was plenty that Ted Cruz could have done. Republicans just don't believe they should or government should do anything. And here we are, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's correct. Now, in fairness, Joe Biden said he would give them aid, but only if they raked the floor of the forest first. That was a condition. Oh, no, that wasn't Joe Biden. Oh, sorry, that was someone else. But yeah, Governor, I call him Coat Hanger Ken because he got elected calling Wendy Davis abortion Barbie. So Coat Hanger Ken, and I still like calling him that. He gave a press conference yesterday and then came out and said that he was going to demand that Texas lawmakers winterize the privately owned plants, because this is why it happened. It was all privatization, and Governor Privatization Trickle-Down Puppet said he's going to demand that Texas lawmakers fund the weatherization of the private plants. In other words, another trickle-down capitalist demanding socialism, bailout capitalism again. That's exactly what we saw yesterday. It was like the bank bailout, except people are eating snow.
Yeah, exactly. Who are you rooting for in the
I have no jokes about it because it's so evil. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'll go back to Limbaugh if you want.
Speaking of evil, who are you rooting for in the Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump Republican infighting? It really is Ebola fighting COVID. I don't.
Isn't it amazing? Please look, for years, we've had, the Republicans and the Russians successfully exploiting the never-ending Democratic Civil War, the Bernie fan versus Hillary fan, the screw you for only agreeing with me on 85% of issue problem that has torn the left apart for so long. Now, the left's doing pretty good at getting along with each other, but this thing, we have to exploit it. The winner is us. Let McConnell and Trump tear each other to ribbons.
By the way, I just want to say, fun fact, we mentioned this yesterday. I don't know if you saw the latest poll. Joe Biden, 98% approval rating among Democrats. So the purity crowd kind of made themselves irrelevant. So
listen, and now look, I mean, he'll survive a lot of compromise, but this way, it's the pandemic, and you just like you shouldn't have billionaires and poverty at the same time. I don't see how you can have a pandemic and a filibuster at the same time. It's got to go. It's got to go.
I agree.
So I think.
Well, that's why.
How much McConnell and Trump hate each other. Those divisions are really good for democracy. They're really good for the middle class. They're really good for poor people. We have to hope that the Democrats can find a way to deepen these divisions. And there's a lot of ways we could do it. But it's nothing but positive. And
John,
that doesn't even get off on the fact that I use it as a thing to get myself excited for sexual activity.
I was just going to say, you and I are liberal helpers, and we already decided last week, as you recall, on a joint project, and that is Kirsten Sinema. Since she is bisexual, both of us can pull her toward the filibuster light. Don't you think?
Yeah. I am not bisexual, but I am confused. So I want to point that out. That's how I identify.
No, she's bisexual. I'm just saying.
I know she is.
We're sending in a sexy liberal SWAT team, you and me, to bring her to the filibuster light. Okay. Mitch McConnell hopes to never speak to Donald Trump again. Talk to the hand. McConnell has not spoken with Trump since December 14th, the day he acknowledged Biden won, and he does not plan to ever speak to him again, people close to Mitch McConnell says.
Oh, you should hear Melania.
And then this one I love. This is the kind of cowards they are. So Trump refused to meet with Nikki Haley. So now she's trying to patch up their relationship with the Wall Street Journal app. But this is like Kevin McCarthy. They condemn him and then they get scared and tail between their legs, go back to kiss the ring. So because
none of these people have raised the toddler.
So Nikki Haley right, took a stand, said we need to acknowledge you let us down. He went down a path he shouldn't have. We shouldn't have followed him. We shouldn't have listened to him. We can never let that happen again. He's not going to run for federal office again. He's not going to be in the picture. And so now she's trying to have it both ways with Trump. She's going to write a suck-up editorial. She's somebody, yes, she's going to run it. And then now she's blaming the media for reporting what she said about Donald Trump. I mean, this party is, I mean, it's so fantastic. Please, you're all so awful. Fight, fight, fight. I don't know.
Like, nothing's changed. Nikki Haley is as awful as she was when she took down the treason flag from the South Carolina Capitol to avoid a national dialogue on AR-15s, because that's all that did. She took down the slavery flag so we wouldn't talk about Dylan Roof having an AR-15 to slaughter all those people. She's always been awful. Ted Cruz has always been awful. Yeah. But people are noticing now. They're not getting away with it as much. And I think it's great. And the longer Donald Trump does this, uses his tiny, tiny ego and his intense self-loathing to control the Republican Party. Look, I mean, Marco Rubio, Nikki Haley, Ted Cruz, they're all going to run for president again. And none of them can do a thing because Donald Trump has them all frozen in amber until he announces what he's going to do. So much good can come from this if the Democratic Party finds a way to manage the feud.
Yes, until the Trumposaurus Rex comes back, they're all frozen in amber. Okay, I like it.
And Nikki Haley's right; he'll never be president again. I mean, I don't mind saying it. And the best shot the Democrats have right now is they've already got all that January 6th QAnon Ghazi riot footage for the midterms. Yeah. But, and if Joe Biden can get this thing done by Christmas with coronavirus and we're all walking around and going to shows again by mid-2022, it's going to look really, really good for the Democrats. But again, Democrats can't go up and say the filibuster ate my homework. They got to get rid of it now so they can help you.
Yeah. I know that you and I got it. Well, when it's safe to travel, we have to get a ticket to Arizona for our, project. Okay. Give me cut 7. This does not sound like good news for the live version of Sexy Liberal Tour.
You say, no, wait a minute. I really want to know when it's going to get to as close to normal that you almost don't know the difference between what it was before. Maybe you're going to still have to wear masks. That likely will be, as the president said, by the end of the year, by Christmas. But Andrea, these are all estimates, and so many things can happen to modify that. And that's the reason why when you ask people like myself and others, we say likely, because if it were a mathematical formula, I could give you a real number.
Mm-hmm. That means this year is going to be the same as last year's, and I know Christmas.
Yeah, it does. But again, but if the Democrats can pass these laws, if the Democrats can pass these bills and get money out there, get money in people's hands, get vaccines in people's arms, then they've really got something to run on in 2022. Because if it doesn't, it takes longer, and the GOP takes the House or the Senate, then I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to accomplish, and I don't know how we're going to.
No, they are already out there with hundreds of bills on voter suppression, John. So that absolutely is the only game. And I have to say, we are so excited about the 10-year anniversary of Sexy Liberal. Until we can be back live, the Sexy Liberal April. We have found footage, John, I haven't even seen before from our 10 years of Sexy Liberal. So it's going to be some of that footage, new material, everybody that's done the show in the past, celebrity guests. I mean, anyway, we're so excited about it.
Yay! I'm only doing material that is 10 years old. That's how I'm going to honor this.
No, you're not.
I hope you guys are really ripe for some sequestration jokes, because I've got some sequester material that I've been waiting a long time to consume. And Romney for president, too. I got a lot of that material.
I hope we have footage of the super economy car that we rented in the original Madison show, and you and your 1,000-foot legs in the back. You look like you were like you were getting a pap smear and a colonoscopy at the same time. I think your legs were like this on the other side of my ears.
That's the magic of Madison, Wisconsin. But I miss you terribly. I miss all of you terribly. This is the first time I've gone a whole year without being in LA since I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I left dairy products in the fridge the last time I was out there. But I left dairy products in my desk at 11 months ago. But, I feel like this is the time when we are, for a year now, we've been coming together by staying apart. Yeah. And I have incredible, incredible faith in humanity and the goodness of most of the American people that we can get through this, because what's going to be sweeter than a bunch of us gathering in a room together to laugh in joy
Yeah.
and appreciation? And,
Yep.
and that's what I believe in.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
That and making fun of Pinball while he was alive.
You're gonna have to used to doing your whole live set with me attached to your leg. I'll just so I can listen, so I can hear better.
Please.
Okay.
I'd love to.
Love you, John Fugelsang. We will see you next week.
Thanks, John.
Guys,
thank you, John.
So much. And everyone Mooks listening, tune in tonight on Sirius XM for my show because the legendary character actor Scott Glenn sits down with me.